Okay, hi, welcome to HOM. So now we'll be doing some integration question for A math. Find in terms of pi, this definite integral 0 to pi sine square theta cosine square theta d theta. So I'll give you 5 minutes to do this question. For a hint, we have to recall the concept of we can use these formulas, double angle formula. Cosine 2 theta is equal to cosine square theta minus sine square theta. So these two hints over here. Okay, now since you have done and thought about this question, so I will go through how to solve this integration question. So we want to solve for the definite integral from 0 to pi sine square theta cosine square theta d theta. So how do we solve this complex looking equation? One thing I can do is to employ these two double angle formulas over here to actually collapse these two down into one single trigonometric function. So this, let me just write it here, sine square theta cosine square theta d theta 0 pi. Of course, there are many ways to manipulate this equation, this expression. So why I use sine theta cosine theta is because it gives us the biggest reduction in the number of terms. So right now, sine theta cosine theta, I can just write as like this. Okay, then we try to fit 2 sine theta cosine theta in. So let's say this 2 sine theta cosine theta squared. So to balance this out, I need to multiply by 1/4 d theta. And this is pi 0, 1/4. 2 sine theta cosine theta is just sine 2 theta. But there's also a square over here. Okay? So how do we actually remove this square? Maybe I bring the square in here. Okay. So how do we do this? One simple way that we can use is the cosine double angle formula. Although this is cosine squared minus sine squared theta, we can actually make this even more versatile over here. Remember, we can use sine square theta plus cosine square theta equals to 1. So by substituting, let's say, cosine square theta, so I just bring sine square theta to the other side. So cosine square theta is equals to 1 minus sine square theta. Now I can substitute cosine square theta into here, over here, and which gives us cosine 2 theta is equals to 1 minus sine square theta minus sine square theta. So minus 2 sine square theta. Okay? So this sine square theta, we can actually just isolate this sine square theta out, and we get, let's bring this to the other side, 2 sine square theta minus 1, equals to 1 minus cosine 2 theta. So I just added 2 sine square theta on both sides and subtracted cosine 2 theta on both sides. And now I can bring sine square theta to one side, left side. So 1 minus cosine 2 theta divided by 2. Now, this expression is very easy to integrate, okay? So right now, this is a sine squared 2 theta. We need to actually replace our, because this is sine squared theta, this is sine squared 2 theta. We replace theta with 2 theta, and that means this guy becomes 4 theta. So let's just write here. So this is 1 minus cosine 4 theta divided by 2 d theta. Okay, so I can take out the 2 and I can multiply the 4 over and take out the whole constant 1 over 8. Pi 0, 1 minus cosine 4 theta d theta. Now this is very easy to integrate. So 1 over 8. So integrate 1. Integrate 1 with respect to d theta is theta. Then I can put the pi and 0 over here and minus integral of cosine 4 theta. So the integral of cosine 4 theta is simply sine 4 theta. But you have to divide it by 4 because of chain rule. Okay? So you can check it and see whether it differentiates to cosine 4 theta. If you differentiate sine 4 theta, you get cosine 4 theta times 4. But you have to divide it by 4 to get this. So that's why we have a division by 4 over here. So now we put the limits and we get 1 over 8 pi. Pi minus 0 minus sine 4 pi. Sine 4 pi over 4 plus sine 0 divided by 4, which is equals to pi over 8. Sine 4 pi is 0, okay, minus 0. Sine theta over 4 is just 0 as well. So the answer is pi over 8. Therefore, what we've done is to apply the double angle formula, and we actually created new double angle formulas over here. And by the way, these formulas can be found in your MF 15. Okay, so here we can apply the double angle formula repeatedly, and we use chain rule over here to get pi over 8. So if you have any questions, just comment in the chat box, in the comments box below. And if you say shit, I forgot.
Don't forget. Like and subscribe. Hey, if you find this video helpful for you, support us. Not say support us, but rather we want to support you further. And how do we do that? Well, we have created and prepared a free cheat sheet for you. We have made it. We've worked tirelessly for the past 7 months to make that work for you so that you can benefit and not get blank when you're doing hard question in your GCE O-level math.
Don't get blank. I forgot to say don't get blank.
Yes.
Yeah, because I got blank with don't get blank.
Yes. So lesson learned. Don't get blank like Zhen Hao here. Especially in your exam. Yes. Click the link down below to claim your cheat sheet now. Woo!